Hello there, I'm Fleur and I've decided to take you out into nature for today's stretching video. So stretching, as we know, is very good for our muscles and our ligaments and our joints. But if you do feel any pain in the muscles, stop straight away. And if you do feel the particular muscle group is really tight when you're stretching, do that stretch a couple more times so you can stop the video and have a go at that again. All right, so these are all my favorite stretches for your whole body. Take some nice deep breaths while you're stretching and enjoy being out in nature. So we're going to start with lying on our back with our knees into our chests. So just bring one knee in at a time. Remember that, bring both of, take a nice deep breath in and breathing out. We'll be holding each stretch, I've got some kookaburras in the background, for about 20 to 30 seconds. I'm not sure if they're laughing at me or maybe they're just having a nice day. Make sure your chin's tucked in, your shoulder blades are back and down and you're nice and relaxed. Good. Now we're going to stretch our glutes, so bring your foot up onto your knee, reach through your thigh and pull it towards your chest like that. Good, and we'll swap over. Good, and now we're going to basically bring one leg down, the opposite leg bent, arms out to the side, and we're just going to bring the knee across our body until we feel a light stretch in the muscle. Good, and swapping over. Good. All right, now I'm just going to grab a band. So a band is good because it just helps you to increase the stretch. Now, if you don't have one, you can use a towel or a skipping rope or something that's going to just help you bring your foot down towards your body like this. We're going to stretch out our hamstrings. Good, now bring the band into your opposite hand and just bring your leg across your body, so you should feel it down the side of your muscle here. So this is stretching your ITB mostly, and your hip. Good, and we're going to go the opposite and stretch out our groin and our adductor muscles. Good, and we'll swap over, so just gently bring your opposite leg into the band. Good, and you're trying to bring your toes down towards your body so you can stretch your calf and hamstrings at the same time. A lot of people complain about the music that I put in my videos, so if I might actually just keep just the sound of nature in this particular one, so I hope this is enjoyable for you guys. Good, and now bring the band into the opposite hand and you're stretching your adductor. Good, and now out to the side, so we're going to stretch our groin. Good, alright, so we're going to sit up and do some sitting stretches. So make sure when you're sitting, try and sit really tall with a straight back. Okay, so let's start with an armchair stretch. So we'll actually bring our knees in front of our body and we're going to grab onto our feet, tuck our chin in, and we should feel a nice gentle stretch as we pull away from our feet between our shoulder blades. Good. Okay, now let's stretch the side of our body first time. And we stretch up and we're going to go to the side. Good. And let's go onto the opposite side again. Take a nice deep breath in and coming over. Good. All right, let's do a frog stretch. So basically bringing your feet into your body, knees out to the side. Take a deep breath in, breathing out as you gently curl over. Now, I'm not the most flexible person in the world. Having done a lot of long jump and sprinting over the years, I've had to work at my flexibility. So it is important to just go to the limitations that your body has and try not to push yourself too hard. But you will improve over time. So that's the frog stretch. Let's do a nice twist. So bring your knee into your body like this, bent. Bring the opposite foot just over your knee and you're going to sit up nice and tall. Take a deep breath in as you twist. Should feel this in your lower back. Good, and swapping over. So we'll bend the right knee, then bring the foot over that knee. Nice and tall, deep breath in, and stretching this way. Good. All right, so now we just want to cross our legs as we normally would, and we're going to stretch our glutes. So we're just going to lean forward. We should feel our glutes and our back stretching. Good, and coming back. Now swapping the leg. So the leg that was in front, we're going to swap over, and this will stretch our glutes slightly differently. And then we're going to have a nice straight back and then come forward and lower down. All right, so let's do our hamstrings again. Because I do a lot of back work, I like to focus on hamstrings and glutes, and because my programs are all to do with lower back pain and that sort of thing. So just bring your foot towards the knee of the opposite straight leg. Take a nice deep breath and try and keep your back really straight and just come forward gently. You can touch your toes if you can manage it, but no pressure. The key is to keep a fairly straight back, and you should feel a nice stretch in the back of the straight leg. Good, and swapping over. So pointing that toe up of that straight leg, nice straight back, take a deep breath in, breathing out as you come forward. Keeping that straight back as much as possible. If you do have lower back problems, really important not to stretch too far. Only stretch to just that gentle pull in the muscle, no pain, no issues. Otherwise you will end up hurting yourself, and we don't want that to happen. Stretching should be relaxing and enjoyable. Good. All right, so let's stretch out our wrists and the muscles around our elbows. So just want you to bring your hands out like that. I want you to make a fist, turn your wrist inwards, and then just try and stretch that way. So you should feel in your wrists and also in your elbows a nice gentle stretch. Keep your posture nice and good, shoulder blades back and down. Good, and now we're going to go the opposite direction. Arms are out, and we're going to push our chest forward so that we're actually getting a pec stretch and a wrist stretch as well. So push your chest out, sit nice and tall. Good, and now let's just do some shoulder rolls, just nice backwards. And we're going to do some nice neck stretches now, which are very enjoyable, especially if you sit all day at a computer hunched over. Okay, so let's start with just bringing your ear gently over towards your shoulder, making sure you're not raising your shoulders up, keeping them down. Good, and now back to the other side gently. Good, and now this time we're going to go ear to shoulder. We're going to look down at our opposite hip, down to here, and that will just stretch out a slightly different muscle group around the shoulders. Good, and the opposite side, so ear to shoulder, and then looking down at the opposite hip. now bring your chin down towards your chest. So you're stretching the muscles at the back of the neck. Good, and now gently looking up to the sky. Good, and now we're going to look over our shoulders as far as we can. Good, and now the opposite. Excellent, so they're all our neck stretches. Now we're going to stretch out our shin muscles, which is the front of the leg. So I want you just to bend your knees, sit on your legs like that, and we're just going to push our weight backwards and just try and lift our knees off the floor. So you should feel a gentle stretch at the front of our shin. If it's too much, don't push it. Good, and now let's go into our cat-camel stretch, one of my favourite stretches. So we're going to just tuck everything under, and you should feel a nice flexion stretch in our whole back. Good, and now looking up and extending our lower back. Excellent. Now let's do a nice stretch for the front of our thighs here. So bending that leg and now pushing, squeeze the buttock of that knee that's on the ground and just push everything forward. Should feel a stretch at the front of the thigh. So at this stage we've almost gone through pretty much every muscle group in our body. As I said, if you do feel tight along the way in one particular muscle group, because it's really hard to obviously tailor this for your requirements, but you can feel yourself which muscles are tight, and then you can pause the video and do that extra 20 to 30 seconds on each side, because really it's important to work on the muscles that are tight for your body in order to prevent back pain and issues. And make sure you do hold each stretch for at least 20 to 30 seconds. Otherwise you won't get the benefits. So we're going to swap over. If you do have knee problems, you can put something underneath your knee just to support it. Squeeze the buttocks of that leg, push everything forward. Good. Now we're going to stretch our calves. So bring your hands about hip width apart, come up into this position, and we're just going to straighten one leg. Should feel a nice stretch. Keep your lower back straight in the back of the calf. Good, and swapping over. Good, and now this time we want to bend that knee of the back, so we're just getting a slightly different stretch. Good, and the opposite, so bending that back leg slightly. Excellent. Well, I hope you've enjoyed my stretching series. We're just going to finish with one more, which is child's pose. So just hope you if you have any comments or questions at all, please send them to me. And yes, I'll see you next time. Arms are out, and we just gently, feet together, knees apart, and just sink into the mat. Good job.